Your nervous system runs the show. If your nervous system is fried, your recovery suffers, your digestion suffers, your sleep suffers, your mindset suffers. Welcome to the Against the Herd podcast, the podcast for high performers who are done chasing trends and ready to build something that actually lasts. I'm your host, Armando Cruz, and today we're going to burn a few sacred cows because the health world is full of hacks, biohacks, productivity hacks, mental hacks. Everyone is looking for shortcuts to a better life. But here's the truth. No one selling you blue light blocking glasses, mushroom powder wants to admit there are no hacks for mastery. There are just principles that work and the courage to live up to them consistently. So, on this episode, I'm going to give you the anti hack playbook, the core strategies I use and I see work over and over with my elite performers, recovering athletes, and burnt out entrepreneurs who want lasting energy, strength, and clarity. No gimmicks, no fads, just what actually works. We live in the dopamine economy. Quick wins, 10-second reels, people chasing results like a video game. That's not life. And when results don't come fast enough, they quit. They call it broken. That is not life. One of my clients, Carlos, came to me after trying everything: keto, CrossFit, cold plunges, nootropics. He tried 75 hard. He was exhausted. His body was tight, his nervous system fried. Sleep was trashed. He didn't need another tool. He needed foundation. And really, once we simplified everything down to real sustainable principles, he got his energy back in 30 days. Now, let me walk you through 6 core principles of the anti-hack playbook, the same framework I teach my private clients and live by for myself, right? So let's start with the first one. Number 1, consistency is greater than intensity. Oh man, this is responsible for me walking, but not walking. This is responsible for me running 100 miles. Consistency is greater than intensity. Everyone wants to go hard. Few people want to go long. I definitely wanted to go long when I ran 100 miles. Well, completed 100 miles. Ran is in quotations, but I went from 10 minutes a day and built up to the point where I did 100 miles in a day. So the results that matter don't come from sprints. They come up from showing up over time. I remember when my oldest started in 6th grade and he started getting frustrated if his progress wasn't fast enough. I said, listen, what you're training for is not for 6th grade. You're not training for 7th grade. You're not training for 8th grade. Not training for 9th grade. What you're training for is for your 11th and 12th grade year. Right now, you're putting hay in the barn. You're putting in the work. If it gets you accolades, if it gets you success, great. Put in the work today so that by your 11th grade year, by your 12th grade year, you have achieved a certain level of mastery that, number one, you can be proud of, and number two, really flourishes even under the hardest of circumstances. So you want change in your body, your energy, your pain, you don't need perfect weeks. You need less like intensity, more daily rhythm. In fact, think of everything needs to be an integrated part of your life. If you can do that, like one of my friends, Alex, who's been on this podcast, he's a definition of consistent. He built an entire empire, not with pulling all-nighters, right? It's not that he never did anything like that, but he was able to stay consistent. I'm talking about 800 episodes on his podcast. He did that with creating the systems, creating the environment so that he could be successful with alignment and repeatability. So number one, consistency is greater than intensity. Number two, your nervous system runs the show. If your nervous system is fried, your recovery suffers, your digestion suffers, your sleep suffers, your mindset suffers. It falls apart. So breath work, nature, sleep, stillness. These aren't trends. This is how you actually recalibrate the system running everything else. You don't do these, you don't get enough sleep. You don't spend time in nature. You don't breathe properly to feed the parasympathetic nervous system. You don't do any of those things. You don't spend time in stillness. Your nervous system can't reboot and give you the output that you want. So you can't out supplement a jacked up nervous system. Don't try it. Actually, most people try it and you're going to fail. You're going to fail at that because that's not how it works. And so when I said that we're not after trends, we're here after mastery. So if at first you can create consistency, you can insert anything into that consistency. So now we've created the momentum, the vehicle to get the habits and everything that you need in there with consistency. Now, understanding the nervous system is number two. It runs the show. If it's fried, you are not going to get the results that you want. So number three, movement is medicine. What does that mean? Not every workout has to be war. Um, it's interesting that the higher level athlete very often understands this much better than people who have never competed at the highest level. Let me give you an example. If you go to any gym and you look at most people and you ask them what their workout is, and people give you like some ridiculous workouts. And I'm like, okay, well, what does that look like all year round? I'm like, oh no, I'm doing this all year round. And what's fascinating is that anyone who's ever competed at the highest level knows that there are ups and downs in your training cycle. And that's like that to optimize the ups and to minimize the downs. So what happens is that you get a lot of people that are training at a high level that always stay somewhere in the middle because the intensity can never be high enough because they don't recover because they never go low enough. So they end up in this middle ground that doesn't give you the progress that you want to see because you don't give enough stimulus for growth and you don't give enough space for recovery. So you're always in this thing. So you want really intense days, you want really recovering days. Okay? You want the ups and the downs. This is what you want. Think of the difference between a heartbeat or the scan or the EKG of the heartbeat of a person who's alive and the person who is dead. The person who's alive has got these peaks and valleys, peaks and valleys, peaks and valleys like this. Those peaks and valleys let you know that you're alive. The person that's dead is called flatline. And so what happens is that most people's health regimen, especially with movement, is actually a lot closer to flatline because they're operating at a high level, but not enough to really make a difference. And so it becomes like an average over time. Like the first time they did it, yeah, it was a peak, but now they're operating like that at all times and they never give time for it to come back down to then come back up higher, down, and come back even higher because they're always operating at this middle. So not every workout has to be war. You're not trying to kill yourself. The more you view movement as medicine, the easier it becomes to integrate. And so, number one, if you're having difficulty being consistent with movement, don't go so hard. Start with being um, easy. Get the grease, the what is it, the what's the word? Grease the groove. Get momentum. And if you have been training, ask yourself, am I in that deadly middle that leads to no progress? Or should I be taking some downs so that I can go up even higher on the next one, right? Go for walks, do mobility work, um, carry your groceries like farmers carries, like take opportunities, be a human, move more than you sit. Like really pay attention to your steps. It's not the most important thing, but it's a great indicator that if you're not at 10,000 steps, you're probably sitting way too much. You got to move more. We should all be able to hit 10,000 steps at a minimum. And by the way, there are some days that I don't hit that. And it's a red flag. Hey, you've been sitting on your butt way too long, right? It's not that I didn't work out that day. I just didn't take enough steps. I wasn't moving enough. Even though I worked out, I wasn't moving. I was sitting more of the day. So it reminds me of, you know, one of my clients, Valeria, where she rebuilt her body after multiple traumas and injuries by focusing on the basics, restoring her movement, not her ego. There was no rush. Just take it day by day. So, number four, environment shapes behavior. Remember that. This is super powerful. Environment shapes behavior. If your space is loud, it's toxic, it's disorganized, you have a lot of friction, good luck staying consistent. If you want better habits, design an environment that's going to make everything flourish. I know, like, here's a perfect one, right? Like every morning I get up really early, I start work at 5 a.m. And what do I do to minimize friction in the morning? I get up, I already have my clothes set out in the bathroom waiting for me that I'm going to wear that day. I don't have to think about what I'm going to wear. It's already there. My shoes are set out. Everything is set out. If I'm going to take lunch that day, it's already made. My water bottles are already done. My bags are packed. Literally have to get up, go to the bathroom, change, get ready. I go, right? The same thing happens if I'm going to go for a run. Like stuff is set out the day before. What do I do for my day? I actually, uh, here, actually, this is it. I write out everything that I have and want to focus on for my day the day before. So that when I wake up in the morning and I get out the door and I get to work, I open my book. I'm like, this is step one, step two, step three. These are the things I gotta knock out because I've already determined that those are the things that are gonna move the needle and create the greatest amount of impact. So your environment shapes your behavior. Leave your water out, put your foam roller in your living room if you want to do that. Keep your phone in another room so that you're not getting distracted by emails in the middle of the night. Set up your space for what you want to become, not for who you've been. Number five, community is your cheat code. Now, think about that for a second. Community is your cheat code. Why I don't like trends and hacks. I'm going to throw in that cheat code in there, right? A little spark that dopamine hit, right? Community is your dopamine, right? We are mammals. Mammals are designed to be with people. So you can only white knuckle life for so long. But when you're in a room, real or virtual, and you want to achieve excellence, and excellence is what's expected of you, you need people around you. There's a saying, rising tide raises all boats. Isolation kills. Isolation kills momentum. Proximity creates it. This is so evident amongst teams that succeed at the highest level. When we look at the cross country field, where my boys are, I mean, the team elevates each other. You look at top football programs, basketball programs, baseball programs, anywhere where there's a cohesion of members, they raise each other up and as a whole become greater. You see this in high performing companies as well. You'll have teams that really raise each other up, raise the stand. Like, I'm going to share with you one of the things that I find really fascinating with my son's cross country team. You don't have to be the best person on that team to earn respect. In fact, it doesn't matter how good you are, you don't get the respect if you don't put the work. You can have a guy that is fantastic, but if he decides to slack off, the guys are going to call him out on it. Okay. They're going to respect that person who maybe is the back of the pack guy, but he's showing up and grinding every single day, like trying to keep up with a group, even though it's not as like he's doing the best that he can. He's showing up day in, he's putting in the work day to day. That gets respect. You know what that does? That breeds excellence. It sets a standard that says, hey, if you want to be part of our group, you have to be willing to put in the work like everyone else. Because when the time comes, we need to be able to depend on you. And I find that so reassuring that it's not something that the coach hasn't said to do that. The guys, it's self-imposed because the guys are so serious about excellence, about being the best that they can be, that they're not tolerating people that are slacking off. And so what does it do? It raises the performance of the entire team because they're not willing to accept that that just just getting by is enough. No, you have to put in the work. You show up like everyone else. If you can't be there, you better put evidence that you did the work that everybody else did. And I find that super exciting to see it from the outside as a father. But when we look at this principle where um, community is that cheat code, it, like I see it in living color there, and I see it with a lot of my clients, clients that run big companies, and when they share with me, because I ask, hey, you know, you have teams on your thing. Yeah. I know which are the most important, which are the most successful teams. Okay. What are some things about that team that is different from the other teams? And they start going. And invariably, one of the things is that the community in that team has set a standard that is much higher than everyone else's. And it's not higher verbally, it's higher through action. And so, again, if you're going to try and do this all in isolation, you're going to kill that momentum. With other people, it's going to elevate you. Just make sure that you're surrounding yourself with the right people, the people who will elevate you. Number 6, health is multi-dimensional. Now, you're not a machine. You are a whole human. What does that mean? It says if your body is optimized, but your relationships are toxic, you're not going to be healthy. If your blood work looks perfect, but you hate your life, you're not going to be thriving. Physical, emotional, mental, spiritual, environmental, relational, explorational. If you are not tapping into all of those, you are not tapping into the different dimensions of what it means to have optimal health and to be an optimal human. So the longer I do this work with my clients, with myself, right? Because I'm I'm a work in progress day in and day out. The more I realize that shortcuts don't work because they only address one dimension of the seven-dimensional system, right? They're just these short-term hacks. When in reality, what we're after is mastery, mastery of life, mastery of health. So real health is not found in a supplement bottle. Real health is not found in the hardest workout. Real health is not found in making all this money. No, it's built in the rhythms of your life. It's built in your habits. It's built in your environment. It's built in the community you've created to support you, to love you, to expect nothing but excellence from you. Why am I fired up about this? Because look, I've been doing this for 20 years. 20 years I've been doing this. I see some of the most amazing people. Some you know, some you don't. But what is the same in all of those people is I've seen them burn out, chasing someone else's shortcut. They waste years on quick fixes that broke them. They lose trust in their body, their mind. They lose their ability to feel whole again. And it kills me because it doesn't have to be that way. The way isn't sexy. What I've just shared with you is not gonna, be the next Instagram viral video. In fact, um, you know, most people will skip through it because it takes too much time. They haven't realized that those little quick hacks and quick fixes are just temporary. But those operating at the highest level, a high performer, the elite, understand that mastery is a lifelong pursuit. And mastery isn't fast, but mastery lasts. Mastery creates the masterpieces of life. And it's worth everything because if you've ever met a true master in any field, you realize the time, the commitment, the focus that person had. And so let's make this practical because, you know, theoretical stuff and the philosophical stuff, the theoretical stuff is important. It gives us a grip of it. It gives us a certain level of clarity. It gives us a foundation, a basis point where to start, where to look. But I want to give you something that's actionable. And here's what I want you to do. Here's how I want you to start. Pick one habit that aligns with you and who you want to be. Just one. Pick one thing. The one thing. What's his name? Keller. Gary Keller? No. What's his name now? He wrote the book, The One Thing. Hold on. It's driving me nuts now. Who wrote The One Thing? The One Thing. The One Thing. No, not The One Thing. Is it? Gary Keller. Holy cow, there it is. Yeah, The One Thing. Great book, by the way. So let's go. Pick one thing, one habit that aligns with the person you want to be. Act as the person you're becoming. Don't stay stuck as the person that you are. So pick one habit that aligns with the person you want to be. Number two, design an environment to support it. Number three, track it. Track it for 30 days. Not to be perfect, but to be consistent, to be conscious about it. Ideally, you are perfect every single day. You knock it out exactly what you set out. But track it for 30 days so you can see. And then number four, find one person to hold you accountable to it, a coach, a friend, an entire community, and let those results compound over time. Okay, think about this for 1 second. You're number one, going to pick out one habit that aligns with who you want to be. Number two, you're going to design an environment to support it. Number three, you're going to track it for 30 days. And number four, find someone to hold you accountable. Now, hacks fade, hype fades, excitement even fades. But what's real, what creates lasting mastery is when you build a life that is supported by habits that can create that through thick and thin. Build your life on what's real. Build your body to support your purpose. Build your rhythm to sustain the legacy that you want. I hope you've enjoyed this podcast episode. I've enjoyed making it. I've enjoyed sharing this time with you. If you feel like you're on that treadmill of life, in that treadmill that's trying to figure out how to dial into your health strategy, that treadmill that's like, man, I can't seem to shake this fog, this energy fog, this funk, this pain. If you're in chronic pain that doesn't allow you to move forward, go to cruisecountry.com. Schedule your pain profile analysis, whether you're in physical pain, chronic pain, mental, emotional. Like if you're feeling stuck, if you're feeling like you're on that treadmill and you want to take that next step and you'd like support, start there. Let's create a plan that you can take with the least amount of friction. Create a community around it so that you can be successful. So go cruisecountry.com. I'd love to see you there. I'd love the opportunity to speak to you and answer any questions. See if there's any way I can help out. Until the next time, I've been Armando Cruz. Stay grounded, stay consistent, and stay pushing against the herd.